Hi and welcome to Just Martha Designs, and today we're going to be doing a live virtual class. This is a live stream. I do hope that everything is going to go well with this live stream. So far so good this morning. I've had a lot of good results, and so I'm really excited and so happy to be sharing with you today. I have quite a few things planned today, and I want to switch over to my table so that I can go ahead and start with that. But I will have the chat, double check to make sure that our chat is open. Enable live chat. Alright, so I have opened up the live chat so that that is available for us. And say hi. Alright, so live chat is open and it is up. I had wanted to send a few shares so that this is not Christmas. I don't know why it keeps wanting to say Christmas. This is not Christmas. Maybe, but no, it's not a Christmas. It is. Ooh. I'm doing a couple of quick things I wanted to take care of. Birthday card class live using multiple stamps. Alright, so send that out, and we're going to share to Google Plus. Post that. Alright, so bad video settings. Yes, it's because I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Alright, so we've got all of that taken care of. I want to go ahead and get ready. I have my window open so that I can see if there are any live chats that come up, and I'm going to kind of turn my I hope I don't mess up anything. I'll transition over now to the table. Alright, so I decided that I wanted to take advantage of a couple of stamp sets that I have. And I know birthday cards, yeah, you can do birthday cards. The Daisy Delight actually comes with just a thank you, and so it's a really cute set. But I think I can do so much more with this design. And I wanted to use the 5 for All. This was something that I actually purchased, and it has a lot of really great sayings on it. From "You're not old, you're 25" with shipping and handling, happy birthday to a funny, beautiful, and smart person. You remind me of me. And so there are just so many great things about this stamp set, and I really wanted to use this, but I don't want it to be just plain Jane, if you will. I kind of want to add a little bit more of a pop to it, and so that is what's going to happen with the Daisy Delight. And I'm going to be using today some Whisper White. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell, like probably came across really loud. I'm going to be using some Whisper White, and I'm going to trim this down. And I do have, like, this is live, so everything is kind of all over the place. I just finished rearranging my room so that I could have a clean work area. And so it's still a little bit of a mess, but it's starting to come together. And I'm going to use some of the Blushing Bride. And it says if you look in the description box below, it does say that it's going to be like this is a 12 by 12 instead of 8.5 by 11, but that's okay. I'm going to be using some of that. And I have, just because you collect things over the years, I do have some paper scraps that I'm going to be using. Just because I really want to get rid of these things. They're just kind of hanging around, and I actually think that I'm going to have to do at least a show on using nothing but scraps that you may have, because I think that would be a really great show. Let's see. Try to find some of my, I'm digging through my stash box because I'm not really sure what it is that I want to use right now. Well, that's kind of cute. Okay. I think it's going to be this one. Alright, so I found something that, this is something I purchased a long time ago. It is not sold on Stampin' Up, but I'm going to use it. It has all these little cute butterflies on there, so I'm thinking that's going to be really cute to use for what we're going to do. And we're going to be layering this stuff up. So I'm going to set this aside for right now, because the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and cut out my cardstock. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy paper trimmer, and I want to trim down the Whisper White. I need one sheet of this. I'm going to trim down my Whisper White, and I take the long side and I'm going to cut it down to 5.5. And I will need both of these. So it's just a little bit wider. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to take, this one's a little bit bigger, and I think I'm going to use it. So I'm going to turn around and fold my paper in half, and I think this was just a little bit bigger than 5.5. I think it was more like I think it was more like, maybe I should measure and see. So I ended up with 5, a little over 5.5 by 4.25. So it's close, it'll work. Alright, so this is going to be used for my daisy. And this one is, and when you know a train would come through at the same time I'm recording. Alright. I've got a lot of light colored paint going on. I have the 2017-2019 in colors, which is the Berry Burst, the Tranquil Tide, the Lemon Lime Twist, and the Powder Pink. I'm going to be utilizing the Berry Burst, but I also am going to need some of the crushed curry for the center of my flower, and you'll see how that works in just a moment. But I'm going to take my Berry Burst, and I'm going to take the Whisper White that was left over after trimming down from my card background, and I'm going to stamp up a couple of these little daisies. So I want 2 daisies. think the train is about gone. They have trains all through the night and all through the day. Alright, so I'm going to put these down toward the edge because I'm going to use my punch to punch them out. So there I have 2 stamps, and I need the center. I'm going to put that on again. Fresh curry. Put the centers in. Alright, so here are my centers. And I want to show you just a little bit of magic. So I'm going to pull out this little foam pad, and it's basically like a little stamp scrubber. And I'm going to use that. And I'm going to be using a nice little stylus. I'm going to punch out and there's 1. And there's 2. Alright, I'll set that aside right now. But if you'll take these lovely little punch outs, and what you do is you take a stylus, and I'm going to use like the big end of the stylus, and you just kind of pull it toward you. Paper to curl, and then flip it over and do the center so that it looks like so. I don't know if you can see how that is now curled around. And so there's 1. And we'll do the same thing. Let's go down, back up, so it curls. And it is easier to turn the pad instead of turning the flower. I saw this on a video. I really wish I could give the person credit for where I saw this, but I watch so many YouTube videos that I can't keep track of what all I'm watching. Alright, so those are my flowers out of the way, and I'm wanting to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to use the leaves. And because I really want to stay in, I'm going to combine the lemon lime twist with my garden green, because this is all about combining things today. And I want things put away. Alright, lemon lime twist. And they're like two different leaf stamps. So one is like the color, the other one is like the outline. And I'm going to put a little color inside my leaves. Just like so. And it is okay if it does not fully cover that up. That is just fine. Don't panic, don't stress, don't worry about it, because that's kind of like what we want to happen. This snaps it away. Alright, so I do not have a punch for the leaves at all. So I'm going to have to cut these. Do a little fussy cut. And I'm going to cut it as close as I possibly can. Sometimes I don't know how I can maneuver. It's great to have scissors. Alright. One. Put my scissors away. I'm going to take the little scrubby pad here, and I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves. And so I want to give the leaves just a little bit of dimension. So I am going to just kind of take and just curl them up a little bit. These do not have to be perfect. It's just taking a similar technique and applying something else. So there are my curled up leaves that I will attach to my card, and I'm going to set those aside. And now we're going to start working on building our card up. And so the first thing that I want to do is I want to take this lovely piece right here, and I really want to cut off a place that has a butterfly, so I'm going to choose this little single one. Like I said, if you do not have any cardstock like this hanging around, that's quite alright. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to make this 5 inches. And as I'm cutting this one, I keep manipulating it. And it's going to have to be 4 1/4 wide. So I'm going to make it exactly 4 inches. Alright, so now I have a little butterfly kind of cut off there. And I'm going to attach this to the card, and I'm going to use some fast fuse. Hit and place that in the center. So now that that is attached, I'll go ahead and trim off some of my pink. Really don't need a huge piece. So this is 4 by 4 piece, and I'm going to trim that down a little bit more in just a moment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to stamp my happy birthday to a funny, beautiful, and smart person. And that is this one. And the little "you remind me of me" is going to be inside the card. And I'm sticking to the very first. And sometimes with these types of stamps, I find that I have to add a little something. I've seen people talk about using chapstick. I use just a washable glue. It's fine to attach it so that it does not fall off. And the reason why I did not trim this all the way down is because I'm going to use this. I'm going to trim it down even more after I put the setting on there. So start with my little thing. I'm going to put it to the side. So I have my saying, and while I have my stamp out and ink, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside. Washable school glue does not hold anything. Sorry. And in the same very burst, stamp the inside of my card. And I'm finished with this. And I can put it away. Alright, so now I'm going to trim this up because it is much too big. And so how I'm going to do that is just like so. Line it up now. Trim that off. And trim a little bit more off this side too. Not too much. You can do this with scissors, or you can do this like I'm doing it. Does not matter. I just did not want to. I could have like used a punch, but yeah, it's all good. Alright, because all I want is just that little rectangle there. Alright, so this I'm going to attach with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to use 4 Stampin' Dimensionals, one in each corner. Sometimes I can't get these things to go off with my little finger. Alright, so, and because I have the little butterfly there, I'm going to kind of attach that up here away from the butterfly. Like I said, you can use any kind of scrap if you want to. But I need to add my flowers. And so this is where it's going to be tricky because I want to put flowers kind of over here and then up there. And unfortunately it's going to cloud my little butterfly. Alright, so for these, I need a Stampin' Dimensional all on the back. So Stampin' Dimensionals on my leaves and Stampin' Dimensionals on my flowers. Alright. So I can attach my flowers. And then I will attach my leaves. And the leaves will get shoved up underneath the flowers. Like so. But and there you have it. A complete card using 2 Stampin' Up! Stamp sets, and it's finished. Have my sentiments stamped on the inside, and we have these lovely little 3D kind of elements here, and I still love that background. I should have popped that out a little bit more, and that may be something for a later video, but let's see if I can get a good close-up of it. Kind of, sort of. But I really think that the Daisy Delight does not get the I really don't think that it gets the attention that is needed, especially with it being, you know, just a thank you card kind of set. So this turned out to be really great, and I hope that you actually enjoyed this very quick class. Go ahead and transition back. Hi again. I do hope that you enjoyed the card class today, and I hope that you'll join back to my channel for more great card classes. Be sure to check out my website at justmarthadesigns.com for some great card ideas, and check back to my channel. I'm always on here doing cards, craft videos and such, and so I think that you'd find something that you would enjoy. But once again, hope that you enjoyed this, and we're going to transition out and see you later.